Well, good afternoon. I'm Denise Rolark Barnes, publisher of the Washington Informer and host of WIN TV. Let's talk. I am so absolutely honored. After a full day with the MLK 60th anniversary March on Washington here in Washington, D.C. This weekend, now to bring up another celebration, 40 years of the Kankouran West African Dance Company that is about to celebrate, as I said, its 40th anniversary this upcoming weekend. And what an honor it is for me to have on our show today the founder and artistic director, none other than Assane Konte, who is as I said, the founder and artistic director for an amazing West African dance troupe. Here, we're so blessed to have you here, right here in Washington, D.C. Assane, welcome to WIN TV.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
People there's so much I want to talk to you about Kankouran.
Oh.
First of all, let me ask you, what does it mean to you to have a 40th anniversary celebration?
Well, first, it's a blessing, really, because it's a long journey. And it means a lot because without the community and the people and the organization, we never get this far. It's a blessing. That's all I can say. We thank God we're able to, keep moving all these years with the organization.
Tell me, because 40 years ago, and it had to have been before that, there was a vision, I would think, that you had about establishing a West African dance troupe in the nation's capital. What was your inspiration, and why did you think that this would actually be something that the DC community would embrace?
Well, because the first time I got here, I was 78. I have a lot of friends work for the State Department, live in Washington, D.C. And they used to come to see my performance all the time they were in Africa. Because, we come to be good friends in communication because I usually perform. I was based in Ivory Coast, not Senegal. I was in Ivory Coast with my dance company, and I was performing for the tourists in the diplomatic. Every convention and everything, they always got us to perform. So I kind of connected with a lot of people in the State Department. They always be telling me, it'd be nice if you can come to the state because what you do and all of that. And finally, I got a friend for we grew up together. We was in the same time vacationing in Senegal. And he said, I was looking for you. I said, for what? He said, man, I'm in the United States and because I didn't see him for 10 years.
Wow.
And he said, I'm coming here to get some costume, and also I got the agents in Hollywood, and you the only one I know can train people to able to do this 2 years program. I said 2 years. Where? He said America. I said, hey, America, we speak French. He said, doesn't matter. Boy, I know you. You come here, it would be good, and I look for it. And I say, well, I'm gonna think about it because I got a dance company and I don't know. And he kept calling me. Finally, I talked to some of the consular American in Ivory Coast that year, and I talked to them because they know me. He said, I think it will be good out there. I said, are you sure? And that's the way I applied for the visa and everything with the letter from the agency in Hollywood. That's the way I ended here, performing for Wild Animal Park San Diego for years. That's the way I was.
In San Diego?
Yes.
So what brought you to D.C.?
The D.C., I was visiting D.C. all the time because I got another buddy grow up with me, drummer, live here, D.C.
Okay.
And soon I got here. I was just here 2 days before I go to California. So when I come to D.C., everybody talk about, they got a guy from Senegal. It's a dance teacher. So Dr. Johnson and Howard, my buddy, the drummer, played for her sometime. And he tell him about me. And the fact I'm coming here and we meet here, and I didn't see that body. We end up funded this organization together.
Okay.
Live here. So what I did is, and Dr. Johnson said, I want you to teach a class in Howard before you leave. I said, I don't speak English. He said, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
That was my first class in United States,
Wow. At Howard University.
Howard University.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then after I left, they keep bringing me back this way.
Ah,
And I already talked to my buddy because he traveled. Then we got him to come to San Diego with us, with the contract, the
okay.
business. So after that, and I visited New York, and I see the companies there. I visit downstairs at Harlem. I visit Haley and all of that. And I say, where is the African school dance?
Yes.
That's the way it started, the vision.
Ah, okay.
And I'm still working on it. Man, I
I
think
see. I
it's
see.
happening.
Yeah.
That's the
And
reason why. And then the fact Washington is an international place,
right.
and it was a chocolate city. I don't have to educate too much people about Africa. So I say this is the best place to base. I try Atlanta. May it take a lot of work.
Okay.
And I changed my mind. And I moved here to DC after Epcot. The agency got us to open Epcot to
Okay.
represent Africa.
Uh-huh.
And after that, they keep us there for a long time.
Okay.
After I finish that, that's the time I say it's time for me to start the vision. And I move here. We
Now, I
be,
mean, 40 years, Asan, though, I mean, you have seen generations of dancers. You
yes, it is.
the children who become adults, who become
Yeah.
grandparents, and
And
their
I'm
children
picking
and
the kids.
grandchildren. Yeah, talk about that. I mean, you
Yeah.
introduce
It's
dance to folks who have
it's a it's a
stayed
four
engaged.
yeah, it's a four generation. The first thing I thought about, and over the years, and I was like, the fact that the organization was funded in the community. It was not about auditioning people to be a dance major things like that. The vision was always about the community.
Yeah.
So what happened is during Myron Berry summer program, I start building up the
Mm,
new generation.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what happened is mostly the dancer now. This year, I got a piece to show how far we're going. I got the grandmother used to dance with me, the daughter, the granddaughter, and the granddaughter.
Wow.
They
The
all
great.
in one piece, like a
Yeah.
four generation.
Wow.
And they
Wow.
all started with the organization since
Yeah.
they were 13.
Yes.
So that's the really the drive of it. May over the years, for us to able to survive for 40 years, I make sure everybody affiliated with the organization have to have an education.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the 80s and the 90s, we still don't have that kind of funding to able to just to do what we do and sit down.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, after working with other organization and they die out later, I begin to focusing on everybody come near me. Any case, you got to show me your grade. I got to work because soon they end the organization. I own you. You ain't going nowhere.
And
So
we know that. I mean, there are lots of folks who've been dancing with you for years.
yeah,
And I think it's interesting because age doesn't seem to be a factor. I mean, like you said, you have the smallest children to
yeah,
the most senior
yeah,
of folks. And even with your drummers, I mean, I
yeah.
think you have some
They all
generations of
they all
drummers.
some of them grow born in the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they still going because because when they have the education, they don't have to depend and try to make a living of dance and drum. I tell them it's might be in another century. Man, right now, anybody before you get into the organization to move forward, you got to graduate in college. Now they used to it. Some of them went back, get their masters, their doctorates. Some of them run dance company. Some of them running different university. The
Mm-hmm.
department. It's a great honor, and that's the benefits I get out of it for
So
40 years.
what do you have planned for your 40th? I mean, we want all of our viewers to go ahead and get those tickets. I mean, I know
Yeah,
it's
just
more
to
than just a
come
night.
see how well we're doing for 40
Right.
years
Give
and
us the details.
how
Where are
much
we gonna be?
the spirit live on,
Yes.
because we can hang another 40 years. We try. We will
Right.
try another 40 years.
So where is the I know it's not just one night. It's actually a couple of days of
Yeah,
event.
we got the 31st. We start the conference because the conference was created in '83, also the same time, because we bring in all the guest teachers from different part in Africa. And
Okay.
because I was feel like a lot of time people cannot get to Africa.
Yes.
So what we do is I created this conference. Now we're doing it many different places now.
Okay.
Over the years, it was just here. And I convinced some of the people I train and mentor, they have it in their own state. And it started 31st all the way to Monday.
So
All the
what's
way
going
to,
to happen? So the 31st starts the conference. When is the actual event?
Yeah, the events will be take place in our center, Dance Exchange, and
Okay.
people come from all over the world. And
Okay.
this year was excited also. Those who've been coming since '83, they part of the production, the
Ah,
celebration. So
okay.
I've been going to different states, working with those people I trained over the years, and
Okay.
those who care of my work. So they all, technology is with the technology. It was fun. I can send everybody three different generation to able to learn those choreograph. And
Yes.
then what I did, go back to every state to work with them to clean up things. And Thursday we all meet here for the rehearsal, the big rehearsal with all three different group. And
Okay.
these are different people from different states, all the way to Seattle, Washington.
Wow. Okay. So the event normally used to back in the day, you used to be over at GW
Listen,
University
listen.
at Lisner
Yeah.
Auditorium, but now you moved over to Howard University's Crampton Auditorium. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, that's the way we had last year and this year.
And
And
what's the big night?
uh, it's a Saturday the second.
Okay.
Yeah, because we always do the show one time, the one during the conference, and then January the 15th, I've been celebrating Martin Luther King for years before it come to be holiday. I
Yeah.
started collaborating with the National Theater, and we used to perform in the lobby free for everybody to celebrate Martin. And then
Right.
soon dance plays build up. Then I start collaborating with them January 15.
I
We
see.
repeat that way because a lot of time the fact that we cannot able to afford to be 1 week went 4 days in the theater because every night it's got 15,000 for one night.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
so
Yeah,
we can afford to have the show 3 times.
I got
Well,
you.
or the whole week, like the other art form. What we do is we repeat it in a small theater 2 night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
Those who
so
miss it
so
can go there.
the
Learn it.
big 40th anniversary
It's
performance is going to be on Saturday,
yeah, the second in
September
Brampton.
2nd at Crampton Auditorium.
Yeah. Mhm.
Wonderful. And what time?
It's 8
Eight
8 p.m.
o'clock.
Uh-huh.
Wow, that's amazing. And we put information up, so we want to make sure people can get their tickets. It's not a free concert, like you said. There is a cost, and I'm sure it's pretty reasonable. Where can people get tickets?
You can get it in hey, yeah, you can get it in Crampton back office in line. You can get it in line.
Online? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. One of the big attractions of the concert is actually seeing you perform. And
Oh!
Assane, you're not, I mean, no offense, you're not a spring chicken anymore, right?
You got it.
But you still perform. Talk to us about, why you feel so inspired to at least, let folks see what you're still capable of doing.
Well, I think you see, I think the what drive you is your people, my own people,
Mm-hmm.
because see, and just the and I joy, be with them,
Yeah.
working with them, because like Africa, we see this proverb, soap don't watch himself.
Right. Okay.
So the fact that they've been there for so many years. Every time I tell them it's time for me to back up, they just to say, no, 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 Pop, you still can do it, still
Yes.
can do it. And I know it's not like, everybody keeps saying I go to travel Europe everywhere. They say you still the same. You still. I say you don't know. I, I know myself. I'm not like I used to in the 18 and 21.
Yeah.
May I still hang there because it's something it's part of who you are.
Yeah.
It's harder to map, and soon those ancestors answer you, man. You just forgot about what it is. I don't know. Doesn't matter. You older, you younger. You just let it go.
Yeah.
It's just to be yourself.
And one of the things that I think people, because we're running out of time, but I
Yeah.
still, so many questions. But one of the things that I think people really realize when they come and see your concert, you think of African dance sort of as a sort of a
Yeah.
free spirited type of performance with no structure. But
Different.
that's really not true. There's a lot
No.
of structure
Honey,
to
with
what
us,
you do, and
you
and
got.
I'm wondering, how do you maintain that with your dancers?
Well, I got to mention it because the tradition is the classical.
Mm-hmm.
It never die. It's a history.
Okay.
And that's why I don't sell my work, I don't sell my video. I keep those like I have to have a library. So I
Mm-hmm.
got my school where people can learn and
Yes.
study. Because generation to generation, people change things, create things. May
Right.
I always mention the tradition is the power.
Yes.
That's the thing I do the best. So I don't create because Africa is a continent, so much in it. I can keep going to another 40 years without creating nothing because every time I go back home, I travel about 15 years in West Africa,
Mhm.
dancing in different states, live in many places. Ghana, Abidjan, Ivory Coast. I live in Burkina Faso because I was based in Ivory Coast. And Ivory Coast is frontier with Nigeria, Ghana, Mali. I just take the bus and go.
Mhm.
It was easy. That was the reason why I used that Ivory Coast for my base.
I
So
see.
it's so much to know, and you never stop learning.
Right.
So I don't have to worry about creating. I just want to mention for the next generation to know about the history.
Yes.
It's very important because you can see it now. Some of our history, they want to wipe it off.
Yes.
And then it making me what I was dreaming and thinking is a good thing. Keep that tradition, not to let
Well,
it go.
we're glad that we're really blessed with what you bring to DC through Kankouran, because we've lost Melvin Deal,
Yeah.
with African Heritage Dancers and Drummers. We lost Andrew Cacho,
We lost a lot of people.
and they were around at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, all of you all were actually making music and African dance really an accepted
Well,
tradition.
she was a part, he was bringing me here every year. Soon they met
Who
in
was
the
that?
80s. Marvin Deer
Melvin.
used to bring
Uh-huh.
me here every year for his anniversary for
Right.
years before I moved here.
Yes.
Because, soon I was in Howard. Soon I teach in Howard. The next day, the rumor come and he come to see me. And then I went to teach there. And then we worked for many years together.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we lost and it's not just to here, man. A lot of the 50 state, a lot of the dance company gone
Wow.
because they don't get the same kind of support to survive, and that was the thing I learned to make sure the company everybody get education.
Yes.
because I didn't want to die out. And for them to just to get their job and educated, and we keep moving with the organization to reach our vision, and it's getting there. So it's a blessing. It took 40 years, man. It's getting there now.
Well, I am so excited, one, that you were able to take some time to talk to us. If you can just share with the audience one more time, what we're going to, the theme, what's going to
Yeah,
happen on Saturday.
just to come for the celebration, and tell your son to come because he was part of us.
Yes.
Make
Yeah,
sure you get there.
I will. I will. Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, but just to come join us to see how far we go, and
Yes.
what, and we got a long way to go, and we always need our people. That's the reason why we call the show. We come together. It's a big power.
Yes.
So that's the way we call the show, because we want to keep the same vision and the same feeling and the same spirit. We got to keep going, and we got to come together and to see, because Kankouran is a great sample to see how soon we come together, what we can accomplish all these years.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Assane Konte, thank you so very much for being with us. Thank you for sharing your story and the story of Kankouran. And we look forward to seeing you on Saturday. But
Yeah,
that's just the beginning. We want to
yeah.
continue to see you and
Yeah.
really experience all the culture that
Thank
you
you.
bring to our community.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you. You too.
Hi, Days.